Hi, friends. Hope you're enjoying your happy holy days. What is awareness? Did the Archons divide and conquer California socially through economics long ago? At least in this region, the Bay Area. What is the nicing of Christmas? What is Saturnalia? Saturnalia was a pagan festival from the ancient times, where for around this time in the year, for roughly 7 days, 10 days, or 2 weeks, they would shower gifts on the poor and treat them as royalty. Seemed like an interesting balancer. Speaking of pagan, the real nicing of Christmas is the real golden rule, treating everyone like Christ. So I came out to California partially to live out my musical dreams and also for my healing dreams, to heal my body and learn to be a healer. And like I say before, 1 or 2 years after I moved out here, this platform was invented, thereby opening the electronic gates in the age of Aquarius. But the California astrology is a Virgo with the Scorpio moon, Sagittarius rising, and that Virgo has the tarot card of Hermit. Okay, so here I am in this tent in the forest making another video. So when one is born with a gift or high IQ or artistic talent or star seed, there's targeting, gaslighting. When I was a little boy, when I was 5 years old, children would copy my art, and several different children. And at first I was shocked, and I couldn't understand why they were so rude. Then someone told me it's a compliment, and so I wrote this down as it is an egotist, a positionist, or a narcissist, a slave to their little ego, or little me. Write a comment. Let me know what you think. If you think about the archetype of the narcissist, it's in love with their reflection, but in modern days it has become, in the age of Aquarius, the modern psychologists say they're sometimes they're in love with others' reflection of them in the water. So, the reason why I thought about making this video that's kind of to kind of let go of some contingency, or a little rant mixed with a prayer, is because the other day, after telling myself it's a bad idea, I started trying to sell this. I asked about 4 or 5 people or more, 6 people, to watch this channel and press subscribe. And some of them are involved with putting on presentations about the truth about some of this stuff. So I was a little bit shocked when they flippantly just, and I mentioned you got to have 1,000 subscribers to make any money, and then they 3,000 hours, and they flippantly just said, "Oh, you're just trying to make money like the rest of us." But it's interesting because I feel that when you think about the last couple videos I made, I feel deeply that a lot of these are older people. Most of them, the younger people, some of them have been more open toward the one my age, toward watching. But I think they're afraid of the knowledge. the gnosis of how much the deceiver controls them still, and that's what this video is about. And the big store is just the worst on planet Earth for this subject, really. I mean, I'm sitting in this Grand Central Station, for this kind of behavior. The Russian mafia calls California the big store because you can buy anything here, and I say Santa Cruz is the jewelry store and the big store, the cold water paradise, literally. So you have all the best things, organic food, but it seems that most of the people have felt forced to be soulless to some degree, or unable to have a family, especially sexually, if they cannot figure out how to earn a shit ton of money, just it's something they love, because otherwise I don't see. I mean, only a few of these people that making millions of dollars doing what they love can love California. I mean, the rest of us, I don't know. It's a little bit contrived for a lot of these situations. So, why would good and smart people sometimes act like idiots? Part two. These people were open narcissists, man. They're just scoffing at me. Like I appreciate that they're honest enough to say, I won't watch your channel, I won't press subscribe. But I think it's kind of pathetic when they're all about the truth. They're all about the Christ. They're all about awareness. They're all about learning and spreading the truth, and then they won't watch my channel. It just shows you there's a deep fear. And then I wrote down a deeper red pill. What are they afraid of? The deeper red pill. Is that it? Like, did I go to too many layers that they're not ready for? It's what happens with a lot of people. There's many layers of awareness and readiness for the Holy Ghost. But there's a principle of Huna, and I have the right to change my mind at any time. And if they realize that and they practice that, that's why I can tell you that when you think about what I've said about the Zetas and the electromagnetic frequency based, even though I've put the link for the evidence, it really doesn't matter when you think about it. If you understand the principle of what I'm saying, if you know how to take deep breaths, if you know how to meditate, to tune into the frequency of Christ, the Holy Ghost, let the higher power guide your behavior. You won't. That's the key. You won't have these problems. But these people here in California, they don't really understand that, man. They've had the whip on them for so many years, 100 years. They can't understand anything else but the whip. And so it seems like some of them, and learning through this, the Spirit speaks to you personally through others' reactions, situations, and vibes. And, it's like, well, is it because I'm in a tent, I got my illness, or is it because you have to disrespect me because I didn't write a book yet? Um, you know, any kind of judgment, but just that openly flippant, not giving a fuck about me, or is just, I'm thinking it's cute. It was like, well, this is why I don't want to stay in this region. I mean, maybe some other part of California, but not here, because they just think it's too cute. So, this leads into the next thing I wrote. When good people are surrounded by narcissists, like in California, when they believe that that's the way they're supposed to behave at some point emotionally, maybe for just because of the cost of living is so ridiculous for them. It's sort of like believing that this is actual clouds and weather, or no, it's actually like believing the space fence is altruistic, and that the 1% are altruistic. And they're never altruistic. They always have created brilliant ways to cash in off killing and war, and so yeah, I've been going through it. Then this emotional reaction I had subconsciously to this was sort of letting go of this. I'm sure I can figure out other ways if I really want to go professional with this, but it's a dual-edged sword. I'm not in this for the money. I'm in this to spread the light and love and awareness, but and love, the consciousness. But I wouldn't mind becoming a professional spiritual teacher. And this platform is fun, although they make it kind of a Babylonian competition to get started, because you got to do it all within a year. So these people had me thinking about this subject. Was like, well, what's their problem, you know? Because they're good people, they're nice, they're cool, they eat good, they have, you know, they're respectful in a lot of ways. Well, it's emotional obedience, you know, narcissism, judgment, reaction, rejecting someone immediately as an instinctive response, classism, racism, ageism. Um, so in regions where they have jacked up the price, you know, it's like, well, if people believe, what does that do to that land? What does that do to that place? Like New York City, what does that do to the quality? You see, because we have this thing called hologramic inserts and perception bias, and many points of separation that are very common: rent, property tax. This can be a form of slavery if it's really high. Judgment, cults, the mainstream media, and the scientism death cult. The fear of the truth. Loosh. Do they think if they watch my channel they're gonna feel some loosh like Alex Jones? I've always said he's a double agent. Because he'll tell you truth and then terrify you. I'm not here for that. I'm here to bring you peace with the truth. Okay? When you still obey Satan and Lucifer's style because of the rent, the property tax, because of your spouses, your judgment, you close your mind to the truth. When you think it's okay to think in these ways that are closed, it means you're just obeying the rainmaker to not give me a chance, because I'm here to help you expand your consciousness, and that's terrifying to whatever Archons and you know, uh, let's say anti-life um, AI beings that have any kind of powers over you until you're fully enlightened. So, what is awareness? Christos is awareness. The Holy Ghost is awareness. I just watched this incredible video. This guy found a 105-year-old book. It's called The 105-Year-Old Book, teaching the truth about the Christ. And he said Constantine killed his mother and then boiled his wife to death in oil. You know, after the Essene high priest told him he's going to have to suffer for many lifetimes for what he was doing, man. Okay, so these are, if you still follow these orthodox, draconian, inverted Christian teachings, this is what you're following. Some really nasty stuff. But the really true spirit of the Christ is pure soul awareness. It does not have any disrespect toward anything. It is free, and it gives, and it loves to give. And that's why I make these videos.